conversation between a mason or a human and an alien being. Part 3. Question. A lot of what you write seems reminiscent of the raw material, especially the concept of harvest, and still shows as intelligent infinity. Is indeed extremely similar. We both originate from the source of the infinite creator, and we both remember where we come from. Of course, you are not enslaved. I would expect our messages to contain the same core truth, and you all not have been didn't had your memory erased like we did. The messages of the sixth density soul group Ra is the most accurate information in a mainstream circulation at this point in time. Of course, it's the same as you, because you all also you have roots in. You started your invasion on Earth in Egypt nearly 500,000 years ago. Is approximately 85 over 90% accurate. From what I have seen, the material was brought to my attention when it first came out, something like about 25 years ago or so. If memory serves, I read a lot of it, but not all. I do not have very much free time for that kind of thing, with many duties, though others of the family gave it a close scrutiny to judge its accuracy, and we were very pleased with the end product. Ra, in fact, is the group I earlier termed off-world entities or aliens, of which visited the Mayan and Atlantean civilizations, which was in America, and also Egypt. He came first to Egypt. He served first Egypt, and Atlantis was mostly America. I'm not sure if at this time, both America and Africa were co-joined. Not sure. However, it was part of Europe. America and Europe were joined. We are acquainted and friends. Both our group souls are at a very similar level of development, evolution. Both 60 density, nearly 70. But like us, that's why they are doing anything here to graduate to 70 density. But like us, Ra also choose the path of service to our fellow galactic brothers and sisters. Yeah, you only serve your own kind. All aliens serve aliens, but we are always enslaved. We are marked like herds. And that's not fair, because you are not God. You are not the real gods. Brothers and sisters, you and others. I don't believe. Instead of further progression home, we would recommend that material for any who truly seek understanding, though, as I said, it's not 100% accurate, so take what resonates. What function, if any, do alien abductions have? Why are abductees chosen? That depends upon who is doing the abducting. Most of what you hear termed as abductions are conducted by your own governments. Really? Now governments can come to a house and then disappear, come as a gray. I was abducted like twice. one time in Asia, many years later, first time in Brazil, when I was still a kid. And then what? Government came and grace to abduct me. I don't believe. Especially the ones where the so-called grace are evolved. No, unless they give permission for the Zeta to do that. Zetas were other versions or subgroup of grace. However, they wouldn't come. They themselves are there. They can just disappear like that. No, cannot be. Other than that, sometimes the Confederation will meet with certain incarnates here who have a part to play in awakening others to the coming harvest. My first experience may have something to do with that, because they were preparing me for the future. I was first abducted in '83 at my hometown, and then later in 2014, much later, 2014, yeah, 2014, yeah. And this time around, it was more terrifying because it was the Zeta. The first one was not quite Zeta, but was a bit of, yeah, well, grace, but not the Zetas. The second time was the Zetas, and they were a bit hostile. I had to shun them away with some spiritual power. They come with a vampire, Oriental one. And also have another time, Orientals also came. They are aliens, Oriental aliens. I have seen them. One was a dog, other one is short but still normal height. The other one was a dog. That was in 2014, also 2013. I had a lot of activities during this time, between 25 to 20 up to 2016. And then it was the second time around. They wanted me to tell something that I knew, but I couldn't recall. Really, I didn't recall what I knew back then. And they wanted me to tell them what I knew. And they will start to harass me, to shake my shoulders, place me in a, just like in '83, they place me in a sofa made of leather. There's a lot of panel inside. Just like in '83, the same thing happened in 2014. And when I got very angry, when they threatened to throw me inside the earth, they say that they will open the back side, the bottom of the craft. The craft was very big this time. First time was the old type of a craft in '83. It was a very old one. In 2014, by now, it is very nice, the very new type one, silver, and very round and beautiful, very big. They threatened to open that button there and then shoot me down, all the way down to the base below. That's when I get so mad. They didn't see a Latin bloody angry. And then I got so angry, I wake up, stand up, and I start to curse them. And then fire sprut from my chest and burn them. And then they go to the middle, to the center of the craft, and the same place that they want to throw me, they themselves fell there, and before they fell, they go down in a circle, went down, swirl, and then they just disappear in smoke. And I came out from there. And those who have them will feel uplifted and inspired by their contact. This was not my case. Felt terrified. The first time my mother was with me, and she too experienced it, because like me, my mother was very sensitive kind of person. She could sometimes predict the future. Then there is the Orion Empire group. My case was this one, the Orion Empire. Their purposes in visiting you are more along the negative lines. And the Greys are Orions, the Greys. They mainly target the ones, they mainly target the ones you have called light workers. They try to put them off their assignments and try to spread fear. Yeah, this is what happened to me. They give me a terrible life, that bastards. And then they implant me something that I have a lot of health issue in the future. And they wanted me to get so much traumatized that I will forget what I knew. And then that's why in 2014 they finally came and then asked me. And also the Syrians. I also was targeted by the Syrians. One of them, the one called Sananda, he too will chase me non-stop. Since on the 70s, when I was about just 10-year-old kid. No, I was 8-year-old. He tried to kill me that time. They tried to kill me. They didn't manage. I returned from the dead. I went into coma. I was just an 8-year-old. What an 8-year-old could remember. And they tried to kill me, but I survived. They will not actually harm you physically. They do. It happened to me. They do. And I was just a kid. And I was through a lot of discrimination, of all that. They give me a terrible lifestyle. See? So wants to harm me, and then I will divert from the mission I came here to do, to fulfill. And then they tried so hard to make me forget. And a lot of them is, I can say, is a different group of aliens. One group from Syria, one group from Orion. Other have these Orientals from somewhere, maybe from Orion as well. Mainly their modus operandi is to restrict you and deflect up you from your path. True. That's true. It's very, very true. They often engage in psychic attacks, and physical attacks that can kill you, so don't take care. They can kill you. They tried with me many, many ways, but did not get. That the light workers is unaware of. But it doesn't often drain away much of the energy. I have been under attack. My God, that's terrible, since I was a kid. And that was many, many years ago. And they only stopped it now when I start to take a lot of precaution, and I keep them away through affirmations. affirmation prayer, most of the energy and make them lack motivation here. And they give you a terrible past, like they make you unable to put your life forward to succeed in what you want to do. They give you a lot of trauma, like you lose your loved ones. They will separate you from the people you most love. That's your family. So that you will suffer. And once you suffer, you go into trauma. You may get into drugs and alcohol. But this didn't happen to me. I stood up from the ashes. And I proved to them that I passed. I passed the test that they gave me. Why? That's why I'm angry right now. Because up to now, this nothing still haven't stopped it. And then the world is upside down. And this never stops, never seems to stop. Why do you want a negative harvest? It's complicated to put into words, and also I must be careful with what I say on this. I've already had a slap on the wrist, you could say. If you do not have a negative harvest, we are bound with you for another cycle. Poor things, I wouldn't, if I were them, me too, do everything to get off here and not bound up with humans for another thousands and thousands of years. Once this great harvest is completed, our contract with the council and our creator is also completed, and then they will move on and leave earth, because the earth will be given to another aliens, another logo, another creators, and there's gonna be many possibilities, many possible realities in the future of earth. Some will be android, some no android. Some will go back from the distant past, others no. Other realities no. There's many possibilities to choose from. In other words, we have done our duty, and I would be free to return to our fullest expression, that of the 60, nearly 70 density galactic guardians, and the ones who joyfully offer ourselves in service to the one infinite creator, and to our brothers and sisters across the galaxy. Although I appreciate very much this information and this disclosure, how is that they are helping us when they are using catalysts to make people go wrong, go astray? Once one goes astray, those who are very stupid, who cannot think better, what will happen? Will stay stuck up in another density for millenniums and millenniums. I don't know how many more thousands of years you will stay back. It's like you reprove your grades. You're not gonna graduate, and they want to graduate. And then if you don't graduate too, what will happen? We'll stay back. Will not pass and spend the games, and then we'll have to stay back and then go through all this nonsense again and again, and suffer in this silly game, because to me it's a silly game. However, there is a problem. Well, you would call it a problem, we call it a challenge. I will address this later in more detail in response to another question, but in short, we need a very high percentage of negative polarity. Yeah, they need at least 95%. Right now they have around 45, and humans that is very polar, very in the negative side, is also very high. If we are to achieve a negative harvest, in other words, we have to be self-service centered to an extreme degree, in order to become negatively harvested. So for them will be service to self, as there's many here on earth, especially so the youth of nowadays, the new generation, who only cares for themselves, so self-centered, so pampered. This is why we work so hard to be as negatively polarized as we possibly can be. If we do not make a high enough percentage, we will miss out. You'll end up with the majority lukewarm percentage. Poor guys. Oh my God, I wouldn't want to. And then you'll stay stuck up with the another classes who doesn't make it, doesn't graduate, that have to go through another cycle and third density. And a cycle is very, very long. Very, very long. By attaining a negative harvest, we can still graduate to fourth density. But wait a minute, they just say that if those very bad ones, the very negative humans, will go on with them, will move up with them. Those who are service to self, and those who are lukewarm, who are neither evil nor good, is middle term, we will have to go through a cycle, and another beings, another dark forces will come to polarize them, to tempt them, you see. And then the good one will have a very nice Eden on earth. By attaining a negative harvest, we can still graduate to fourth density. Only to be a negative polarity planet. Not a great place to be. But as I've stated previously, we as a group soul, have incurred the natural karmic restitution process that we must work off for all the negativity we have caused upon this planet. We will do this for a cycle in our new fourth density world, and then we'll be freed to once again be the glorious being after many years, many millions, thousand of years, and be the glorious being of light that we truly are. We need a negative harvest so that we can create our fourth density earth and clear out karmic record. How will they clear out karmic record when they go to fourth density earth or planet X? I don't get it. I really don't understand. By attaining a negative harvest, we can still graduate to fourth density. So now they are trapped here inside the third density. That's what I mean. But I understood they said earlier on that they are on the sixth density and that they are close to go to the seventh density. So he wants lie, he or she, only to be a negative polarity planet. Not a great place to be. But as I've stated previously, we as a group soul have incurred the natural karmic restitution process that we must work off for all the negativity we have caused upon this planet. We will do this for a cycle in our fourth density world, and then we'll be freed to once again be the glorious being of the light that we truly are. They are fallen angels. We need a negative harvest, and they live on the on the bottom of the earth. Agatha. We need a negative harvest. They are intraterrestrial, so that we can create our first density earth and clear out our karmic record. How? By becoming bad again, how come they will clear out karmic record? They are just accumulate more karmas. Understand that we have to be negative. That's what we were sent here to be. It's our contract. It has always been to help you by providing the catalyst I spoke of earlier. How come want to teach people a lesson, whatever teach, then have to be bad and then tempted people to do stupid thing, know that people are naive and then so vulnerable as a common human being, unless you are very special to know better and not fall into temptation. Being negative is very hard for us, not on a physical level, but the characters we play enjoy our roles as we are programmed that way. Yeah, they love to be bad, so the more they do evil thing, they will just link their mouth. But on a spiritual level, it's hard. We surpassed the lowly negative vibrations eons ago. We are light and we are love. I'm sure you are. I'm sure. And I hope this gave me the stuff so that you will go back to square one to be the wonderful beings that you are able to be, just like us. It's a very hard thing for us to do spiritually, to create all this negativity. But we do it because we love you. I really don't understand. It's like love through hard knocks. And it's for your highest good, ultimately. How is that ultimately highest good when you entice us to do evil things, and then we end up at the end with you for another cycle? It is nothing good to be tempted to do make sins and do evil things. It's not good. You could say that is our sacrifice that we have made in order to be of service to the one infinite creator. Yeah, you do this for Lucifer, don't you? But how is that he want to help us? It's beyond my comprehension, sorry. And to you, our brothers and sisters in the one, remember, we are all just acting out a grand old game here, where we agree to forget who we really are, that in the remembering that we may find each other again, and I know that we are one, that all of life is one. I must correct you here. The precession of the equinox cannot cause this. It cannot cause anything other than the way in which we here on earth view the cosmos around us. It concerns the wobble of the earth axis, and as far as I know, does not relate to any other planetary bodies. From a third density perspective, you are correct. It appears that way. We do not look from a third density perspective. There is a bigger picture to work that you cannot see. Regarding our enslavement, you seem to be saying essentially that as fraction of our Logos Yahweh, we are equally responsible for his decision to keep us trapped here on our third density planet Earth. I don't buy this is a lie. We cannot be responsible for that which we do not remember, having agreed open. That's interesting thought, and that since our total freedom must arrive through a collaborative spiritual effort. From a certain perspective, what you say is correct. From that density view, you see yourself as being separate from everything. From a higher perspective, you see that's not at all the case. But you are speak through a higher perspective. You see the whole, and we are seeing the parts. We are here, and then we have forgotten everything. How is that we are ultimately guilt and the guilt in the others? With what they have done in the past. Why you have to make part of the karma for? Why is that we have to pay for the sins of, let's say, our parents? The children supposed not to pay for the sins of the parents. That's wrong. If the parents sin, of course, do something wrong. You and your creator are one. So because it's one, but so what? They cause us to forget. As to a statement on your total freedom, you are not responsible for those around you. You and they are all one too. When seen from a higher density, but in this density, you are here to walk open yourself. You are here to remember who you are and why you are here. You are here to remember the infinite creator. Okay, to remember the infinite creator, that's true. And then to give thanks to it. And then but give thanks to what? To suffer. One for the good things, I give thanks for the good things that I get to enjoy, like see nature, see everybody happy, and I'll be self-satisfied. Other than that, I'm not thankful for all the things that it is part, it is less conscious, sub logs have chosen to be. I cannot answer for them, I'm so sorry. To know your creator within you and to offer your service to him and others. Yeah, it's only when you remember who you are that you start to do service for others of your own free will choice to serve. Yeah, though one comes before the other. When you remember who you are and you know it deep within the core of your being, that's how I felt since young. That's why I had the need to help astray animals in all way I could help, and I helped the poor and the beggar. Since young, I guess that I was an indigo child, and all indigos were born, a lot of indigos were born in the 60s. You will know and recognize your invisible connection to all there is, and in so doing, joy, thanksgiving, and service will be the natural outpouring result from your grateful heart. And how to give joy and thanksgiving and service if not giving to others and then give to nature as well. Serve also nature, plant a tree, take care of a plant, help to see everything green, and then our lakes and rivers and ocean clean from the greed of a man. And then by doing that, we are saying thank you to the infinite being, for the primordial being, but not to the sub-logs, that is all those Anunnakis who came here and then invaded, took over, and then force some people here to follow them and then worship them. This I cannot give thanks. I'm so sorry, and I cannot worship those. I'm not sure that they are God. I cannot. I just cannot. It's like betraying myself. I can even thanks them because I see them as a part of the all. But they are as a creature as I am. And then I will still try to understand them, but I cannot serve, I cannot offer my service and worship to beings that I'm not sure they are gods. Will be the natural outpouring result from your grateful heart. When you walk upon yourself and learn to know the Creator within, being of service to others will be natural for you. Yep. That's why all the charity bodies that religion does, in your glorious harvest shall wait. However, what you cannot do is to follow religion blindly and then to serve and then worship fake gods. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. One thing I don't get, if perhaps you can explain this to me, hidden hand, is why those who belong to Lucifer and Lucifer himself do not fight for the freedom of all souls. If Lucifer represents liberty, freedom of will and knowledge, is a lie, is a trap. Why do those who serve him not do what the biblical Lucifer did and rebel against the tyranny of the elders? The elders are the magus. This is a very good question, thank you. I will split it into two parts and answer the second part after this. Firstly, the Council of the Elders are the absolute opposite of tyrannical or rule. I don't believe it. They are so opposite that they were the one who instigate all you all to be free and then come here to serve as a catalyst to tempt the humans, so that humans, instead of graduate and ascend, they will descend and descend in a morality. Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot take it. This is a very good, okay. I'll split. You reach higher densities, you see that automatically. Opposite of tyrannical. They are the wise, loving guardians of our galaxy. There is so much that one cannot understand from monetary density perspective. What loving guardian when they do war and do all this? This is a dichotomy, man. This is a paradox that only a fool will listen, a person in trance and under spell. When you reach higher densities, you see that ultimately everything balances and there is only unity. All else than unity is illusion, thought form. How to have unity when you see how a world crumbles and fall down because of the thoughts of some who see themselves as the supreme gods? How to explain that? How to have unity? How to be loving like this unless your idea of loving and unity and justice is twisted? The council gave us a set of choices. We choose to stay here to help you, despite the cost to ourselves. That's the nature of loving service to others. The ultimate paradox in all this is that in this storyline, we are all co-creating together in order for us to be of the most service to you. We must be utterly self-serving. I do so love our Creator's sense of irony or hypocrisy, might be, I don't know, madness, bipolarity, because I don't see sense of love. I see eternity. Love for me Is not to help others through evil thing. Like, let's make sacrifice. You wanna power? Go make sacrifice, killing babies. Let's kill one another within the family. Men killing women. Say that the women are evil. Let's kill the woman nowadays. Kill the parents killing children. Evil parents killing children. Evil sons and daughters killing parents. Wars. Power of the rich over the poor. This is love for you. If this is love, you have a very blind idea of what love means. And I don't want to buy this nonsense because it's all a Maya. It's all the matrix is an illusion. I don't see it's an illusion. It's an illusion that takes us to the other side, crying and then mourning, and then we have to undergo even counseling the other side because the trauma is so much. Even after that, we'll have to go through traumas. And how to explain that? And you still talk about love. What love? Love is to heal. Love is to soothe. Is to feel good by doing good to others. When others feel good, you also feel good. You cannot feel good when others feel bad. What kind of love is that? That's lie. That's stupid. As to the first part of your question, the biblical depiction of war in heaven is not entirely inaccurate. Of course it happened. You all fight for power. I shall explain. Our initial contract was to introduce the catalyst for free will on this planet. And what's free will when you sin and commit crime? It is not free will at all. What kind of catalyst is that? Better you keep your catalyst to yourselves. When Yahweh initially began discuss with the Council of Elders, he was not initially looking for help with introducing free will, but rather for guidance on how he could best speed up his and his inhabitants' evolutionary process. And what's evolution for you all? Evolution would be to take us to reset our DNA helix to its original form as it was when you all first came here. When you all came here, you found a species that have very high quality in conscience, in the prowess and abilities and psychics, able to create thought, able to self-healing, longevity, etc. And then you took all it away. And then you turn ourselves like amoeba from a being of high grades. You downgraded the eyes to the level of amoeba. One less helix and then you will poop on the floor like beds does. That's how low we went with the coming of these beings here. And then they talk about evolution. What evolution? When you switch off and unplug our circuit that is the DNA helix from the brain and the meridians, so we will not be able to do main prowess, main abilities. And then that's how human became what they become: retarded, evil, stupid, ignorant. As I mentioned, he was running a benign dictatorship. Dictatorship never can be benign. Benign is live and let live, dude. If you love that bad, if you love somebody, let them free. If you deserve, it will return to you. If it never returned to you because you never had it in the first place, that's love. That's how I am. Everything that you hold, let it go dearly. Everything that you hold, let it go if possible. Especially give freedom to people, but first, before giving freedom, thought those beings of the consequences, the natural karma, the natural order of things, in the natural universal karma. Tell them, give guidelines, but let them free. And let them, first of all what you need is to have a good DNA set. That's all. DNA, a good makeup of DNA, so that we can think better and act upon it. We had at that time just completed an assignment in Tau Ceti and had reported for our next duties. We, as Group Soul Lucifer, were sent on a fact-finding expedition on its world to visit Earth and meet with Yahweh, to evaluate his planetary creation laws, and make suggestions on how best he could help his offspring, because we are never his offspring. What he did was replicate us, and then mix his DNA with us, but in originality we already exist. Our ancestral are others. We have others ancestral, our original ancestors, which were decimated, genocided by these beings. This is the term I shall use to describe the souls who comprise the group soul and justly Yahweh to progress. I don't believe you, I'm so sorry. I have my own ancestrals here on earth before you all came. We explored many options and report our findings to the council and to Yahweh. It was our best evaluation that the only real and fast-track way to increase his involvement meaningfully was the introduction of free will. It was not specifically the implementation of free will that Yahweh wanted help with. It was simply the introduction of a catalyst. He was not at all pleased with our report that he needed to implement free will. He was happy with his little pet paradise, and he didn't want to lose control of it. In the end, the council persuaded him that it was the best way, and he reluctantly agreed. Is he aware of the zodiac sign of Cancer, or any other who like to hoard and possess? We returned to Earth and had a cordial meeting with Yahweh, discussing how we could best implement the free will option. Yahweh was adamant that his offspring would choose to be loyal to him anyway, and that they were so contented with their way of life that they would always trust him and do as he said was best. That, he said, was his main reason that free will would not work well as the catalyst. That's why he agreed to the experiment of the tree of knowledge. He believed it would prove him right when it did not. He became angry, and when it did not, he became angry. threw his toys out of the pram and his offspring out of the garden, and laid a big guilt trip on them about how they had broken his trust and disobeyed him. That's not really an honorable way for a logos to behave, but hey, that's the bit of free will, I guess. What does he do with the sign, zodiacal sign of Cancer or Capricorn? Or Leo, to be so dictator and paranoid. Next problem to occur was that his offspring was so grateful to us for help that Yahweh became, in his own admission, a jealous God. Then we had the whole "you shall have no other gods than me" thing. We were not pleased with the situation at all, as a logo should not be behaving like this with his offspring. They are one after all. When we attempted to leave the planet to return to the council, this has been lied a lot. In other instance, they say force human rule. Then after that, the male's God started after the males took over and say the lie that the woman needed male's ferocious, male jealous God to protect them, and now they say chat another story. So how to trust? Yahweh prevented our departure. We tried to live again and were then thrown down into the astral planes and confined therein. If you are inside the astral plane, then you are not here on earth, right? Or is it the astral plane below that the earth and the Agartha, or the bottom of the earth, or hollow earth? The council ordered us to be released. See, the magus, the elders, freed them, or the gazers freed them. The council ordered us to be released, but said we would have to cancel our contract to help the souls on earth to evolve. How to evolve when they are here to teach us to be evil? We didn't want to leave. We found them very likable beings, really positively polarized. And we wanted to stay and help them since they found them nice, meek, polite. They want to turn us into brutish, bad, cruel beings, and we want to stay and help. We just want us to be free to come and go as we please it. The only way we could stay was to stay confined as a group soul, which meant cycles of incarnation for us. And then what they did, they took human bodies to reincarnated as human to lead other humans astray, and then to better control, which meant cycles of incarnation for us as individuated souls, which had not done for a long while. As I've stated before, there is no wrong or right seen from a higher density perspective, but there are still consequences for every action. There's a karma to be paid. Since the law of a karmic effect in the multiverse, the contract had already been made between Yahweh, us, and the council for us to provide the catalysts, so he had a right to be there. The karmic effect of Yahweh imprisoning eyes on the microcosmic level was that his individuated souls would be imprisoned on the microcosmic level, and them in the microcosmic level, or maybe on the ethereal, invisible, now in the mass dense, much miserable level. The infinite creator gave away in all the gift of free will to create as we choose, and so did twice. Then we are what? The infinite creator give us all, not just you, but all of us. You are just being elitist. Infinite creator give away in all the gift of free will to create as we choose. But the karmic effect of his choice was the council quarantining the planet. A certain evolutionary level is required to be a functioning part of a positive, unified galactic society. Because they are arrogant, they are elitist and arrogant. They quarantine us here so that we don't meddle in their affairs on the other side. We'll not be able to get out and explore other realms, other things like they can do here. And that's so unfair. That's enslave the species in here. As for fighting for the freedom of all souls, remember that this ultimately, this is a game. Oh, it's a game. Then, if it's a game, don't take it so serious. So, if it's a game, why punish us when we make a thing that you all don't like? Why? Why keep us in quarantine? Why make us go and come back, go and come back, go and come back? Why put us in hell? Why? If it's a game, you see how this been lie? That we are all playing here, we are actors play on the stage of life. We don't have to play with life, duty. That's wrong to play with life. It's wrong. Through my perspective, I don't damn care whether it's that density perspective or whatever, but it's wrong to play with life. Don't play with life or you're gonna get burned. Your ass is gonna get burned. If your ass is hairy, it will become bald because it's gonna get burnt. This world is an illusion. It's an illusion, so why you take so serious? It's all lies. Why you make council? Why you make judgment courts? Why you make astral plane? Why you build a matrix on the astral plane? Why you still punish people when the people come leaves this body? Why? Because you all take it very seriously. You are just making up excuses to justify your wrongdoings, your violation of free will. No one really dies, and no one is really hurt. I wish I couldn't really die. I wish. Better than still live after that and I suffer. In between incarnations, he lie. I don't believe it's been. You know this very well. Yeah, but you still suffer. It's worse than 100 deaths. It's worse to suffer even in this body or without it than to be destroyed completely. You know this very well, but the rules of the game ensure that you must forget who you really are, so that you believe it is all real. So you are playing the game of life. That's an essential prerequisite when you are making choices. Otherwise, the game would be too easy. We don't need difficult game. That one's for the cabals like your cabals and demiurge. Another thing I like to ask, they say it's a game, right? It's not for take so real and blah blah blah. It's a game that we all play here. We all act to play out the stage of life. So why punish the people here with viruses, with their made artificial tragedy, disasters, by manipulate the ionosphere and atmosphere? They cause main disaster to punish, apparently to punish. You see how convenient and fake they are, and malicious. If they really took it as a game and not seriously, they will not punish nobody. By the just for punish eyes, by the act of punishing eyes, show how serious they take this kind of life, how serious and obsessed they are with it. So they are lie. This was not a reality, though you can express a reality in it if you so choose. If it's not a reality, so end up let the eyes all go back to the spiritual world. It's not a reality, right? It's a move, so let us go back to the real world. How about that? Okay, so your family and fellow elites might be as entrapped in the earthly realm as we all are, but why actively propagate and aid the forces of enslavement? Good question. Because that's the part we have been contracted to play in this game in order to win, or more accurately, to be successful in the game. Oh yes, the old farties, the old geezers called the elders, the council, they are what we call the 15 multi-dimensional beings. They are the one who pull the cords, who makes the event turn this one against that one against this one. In the game, we must be as negatively polarized as possible, and then you do it for you, and then you screw the rest here, because if you do your part of the game, as you said, you're gonna be saved. You're gonna get your own word, right? Your demonic word. But then we gonna suffer. Some of us will have to go, and I say a majority will have to still be under your subject, under your authority for millennium, if we lose this game and then we do not graduate. Service to self in the extreme. Violence. Look at now, he showing the other side. You see how damned crazy and fake and sickening, this being sickening psycho they are. You see, now he's showing his true self. First he talk about love, serving other, blah 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 blah. Now he's talk about violence. That's what they are here to try. They try all this kind of thing, all kind of events in here, and this kind of effects in here, and then they disturb the people here. They disturb their conscience and their psychic. They attack them on the psychic level. So they inflict people here with violence, war, hatred, greed, control, enslavement, genocide, torture, moral degradation, prostitution, drugs, all these things and more. They serve our purpose in the game. The difference between us and you in the game is that we know that we are playing, and then we don't know. But still this play, there are sovereignty for us, even though we do not know that we are playing. And for them, they will get their comeback take long, because since this world is ruled by devils, they will get accolades for it, for being bad. They will get more points, you see, and we gonna lose. We will be at the loose end, not they. If we screw, we're gonna be at the loose end. You see, so in this game, who fall for their trap will be the loser. They will be the winner. So whether we know or not that we are play, we still gonna be the loose end if you do your bid, if you do as you please. The less you know about the game, and the less you remember that you are a player, the more senseless living becomes. In all these negative things, we are providing you with tools, but do not see it. It is not what we do, but how you react to it that matters to them. See? So there is their fault. The virus is their fault. All the calamities that we see here, all the tragedies, all the evil things, their fault. As the Protestant says, even the Protestant, the evangelist knows it. See, it's their fault, but they don't want to accept it, and they want to lose. But you will lose if you fall for their tactic. If you fall in their trap, that's it. You are done. That is important. We give you the tools. You have the free will choice. How you will use them. So choose them wisely. You have to take responsibility. You see? Everything that they do, they will not take responsibility. The responsibility they will shift on your shoulders. Their karma will be yours, and many humans that make party to them here have the same kind of mentality. I could see some culture that are like this. They do evil, injustice to other people, and they still dare to say that it's your fault, not theirs, that they are doing this to you. Yeah, there's psychopaths like that here. A lot of them. And you have to be smarter to outsmart this loser, because these are goons and losers. Those are them huge. There is only one of us here. Understand that, and you'll understand the game. If there is only one of your eyes, idiot, so do not do unto others that which you don't want for yourself. You are being selfish, and you don't know even how to lie. You deliver yourself, cause you give away your game when you yourself talk. You see, if there is one of us here, you need to understand that what you do for you, you are doing unto others, right? So why you do evil unto others? For why? Because first of all, I know you are stupid, but you still think that stupidity is the order of the day, and that's why you keep on doing that, because you know those species here are stupid, morons, naives, and you will understand the game. No, I understand your game, and I understand that we should not play your game. You should delete your game. We should tell the machine, don't play no more. Game over. Over. See? Something I found extremely interesting is the concept of the grand age of precession being split into 5. The beginning of the current sub-age was a time of great activity. and the construction of stone monuments in Western Europe, the Middle East, and Egypt at this time relate to the recognition of this cycle. What was the purpose of bright and stone cycles in Egypt's pyramids? They are more than mark of aeons. Those were aliens who did that. They must have had some enormous significance. Actually, something I'd most like to know is, were the builders of these monuments members of the enslaved masses who were trying to understand the nature of existing sea, or were the builders members of your elite bloodline? Maybe the long time ago people were different physically wise, so they were assisted by aliens. The crop signs are all made by aliens using laser. Yes, there is a significance in these occurrences according to the space-time of their happenings. The group soul complex Ra was the architect of these structures. They were created from thought. When one understands and sees that all is illusion or thought, one can use the force to manipulate the illusions. So they were created from thought. When one understands and sees that all is illusion or thought, one can use the force to manipulate the illusion. It doesn't happen like this. Doesn't happen like this, Stanley. It's a false claim. They are taught once you use laser or something like this. Some technological devices to create things very fast and very, in a way, very effective, very efficient. All things seen and unseen are interconnected life forces, energy. Once you know what the magician knows, it's not magic. It's a tool of creation. Of course, with technology, who cannot do? If devices. Thank you for your question. They were very insightful. It is yokai that has ruined suddenly this rent in the South pouring or melting down. It's yokai that has ruined the world. Thinking of yourself as a higher than anyone. If I saw you in real life, it wouldn't be pretty. Good, you are giving them a piece of their own mind. Very good. You want to treat others this way, you get treated the same way. It's karma. You all in the backside. You lack understanding, not to mention eloquency. Oh, don't tell me. Now you talk so convincing, but then your actions does not make any senses. It does not matches what you do. What you say is not what you do. That's a hypocrite. You need change, dude. You need change for your own good, high self. Only good. You better change. To understand it higher, try thinking outside of the box for a moment. If I'm walking along the ground and you are flying above me and I pray, but it doesn't matter. Don't need for you to give excuses and psychological, how to call, manipulation. No need for it. We are more clever than you think we are, more intelligent than you think we are. Don't think that because you take away our understanding and degrade our DNA, some of us are not smart enough to put you down. Does that make you better than me? I know, since I still want to change the fact that you all really have this higher than you, holier than you kind of think about yourselves, you aliens. Whatever you say, it won't change this fact. So don't need to justify yourselves. No, it just makes you higher. But yes, I'll see you in hell. Throw water in the hell. Throw water there, flood everything, so that they will cannot come out, so that they will see in their soul, in their conscience, what they do to the people here. Burning hell down, or just flood it. Be careful what you wish for. All thoughts and words are creative, and so what? You all deserve. Skiers, thank you for your question. I believe I have already dealt with many of them in my previous answers this session. Though if you feel I've missed anything, please say. If Yahweh is a positive polarity entity, how is he wrathful and jealous? He's not. He's how they call it, a red dragon. He's very angry. Does Yahweh have free will? Would you like to think of yourself as reasonably positive? Can you still be wrathful and jealous at times? Is Yahweh a macrocosm of you? You are saying that, but you are not sure. We cannot consider someone invade us to be our father, co-founders, whatever. Have there been over time identity pretend to be Yahweh? On occasions, yeah. And this is one part of Yahweh that's polar. Is the same part of him disassociated itself. I would like to know, how do we choose a service to others, positive part, over service to self, negative? Simple, dude. Take your money and give to some poor people, beggars, help a poor family, help building our own, for help somebody who maybe battered for a cause, like for the battered children, abused children and women, for the elderly, help the animals, especially plant a tree. That's what to do. Is this statement correct? In order to choose the positive part, at least 51% of our thoughts and actions must be dedicated to the service of others. For the negative part, at least 95% must be self-serving. Between the two lies the sinkhole of indifference. Your statement is correct, yes. So you see how hard we must strive for negativity. It takes a lot of effort to reach 95% negativity. Also, you may be surprised how many people on the planet are nowhere near reaching 51% positive. How do you choose service to others' part? Be good to yourself, cultivate a genuine love for life and for being. Be genuinely thankful to the infinite Creator every day for bringing you into being and for His bountiful provision. You have survived this far, have you not? You may not have everything you want, but you have everything you need. Be grateful for what to see so many calamities around, in order to complete that which you incarnated here to do. And what was that? You need tell lies. For me, I know what I came here to do, but how about the others who doesn't? Give thanks for that. Show acknowledgement and gratitude to the infinite Creator for all that He has done and is doing for you. It has given you the gift of life experience, and it's very painful, not for you who have your memory intact in your family, in your community. And how about us, poor miserable souls here? And offered you the free will to decide what you will create with it. No sense of free will to decide, but not want is not getting. Okay, want is not getting. We have free will, but what the free will if we don't have the tools to do that? You're gonna do what? Rob? Everything revolves around money and power. If you don't have what you need, suppose I live on the street, I am a beggar, and then I need a house. Okay, I want a house. How are you gonna get this if our DNA was taken away from us? All the helix was switched off, and you cannot create a house by thoughts. And then what you do to get the house? Need what? Rob a bank? You need to have money, and then for some living a salary, that's if they can get a job. It will take years on end for them to get a house on credit. That's rubbish what you're saying. Wish-washy thinking in kind of say, just to fool the idiots in here. Guard your thoughts carefully, as they are more powerful than you may imagine. Okay, so I want you to suffer what you are suffering right now. I want to see where you're gonna come through. When you are coming from a place of love for and service to your Creator, all this you say about is Creator, because they want us to worship them and serve them. The Creator they are talking about here is them themselves, the dragons who created all the religion and cults. I don't know. Very, very cunning, very, very sly, cunning reptiles. A life of service to others will become a natural overflowing from that. First, service to others, then yourself do all there is. Service to others first, and then second to you all. Even though, you don't have to serve you all because you have done no much thing for us. So, for what serve you all? Besides, you are not the prime creator, the primordial being. You are just a creature like us. Always look for ways that you can be of assistance to your fellow beings. Being of encouragement to others. Build people up and do not put people down. Be a beacon of light in a dark world. That comes from the tongue of a being who goes to a household, and are put on the mind of the accursed man to kill his children and wife, to shoot them to death. That's the being who tells that stupid son to take drugs and kill his own parents. So much irony, too much fake, too much falsity. Does that old lady need a hand if he has shopping bags? How do you treat the homeless man who asks you for some spare change for the shoulder? Yeah, true. It's a pit that you need to remind those people how to do this. This thing's supposed to come naturally from the heart of every human being. I was a kid when I did all that because I knew that's the right thing to do. I felt good when I did it good. And there's some evil people around me who will tell, she always trying to be the good saint one. Up to now, I hear evil beings tell me that. Evil beings incarnated in human form, and I don't give them a damn. The same way I can be good, I can be as bad as I a devil to evil people. I can be good to extreme and evil to extreme as well. How do you treat the homeless man who asks you for some? Ever heard about angels in disguise? Look and see the divine spark in the heart of all beings. Treat them as you would like to be treated yourself. No, this is what you need to apply on yourselves. You cannot come here and then instigate the people here to be more stupid than they already are. So treat them the way how you all wanted to be treated. You first need to lead the example and lead the way for us here. And as you would your Creator if He wants speaking directly with you. For even as you are doing it to the least of this, you are doing it unto me. What? Yeah, as long as you do good, okay, good, I accept. But imagine doing evil things. The law of radiation and attractions. Your thoughts, words, and actions return to you. Automatically cultivate a spirit of humble gratitude. You won't go far wrong with that. Desire to serve flows naturally from a grateful heart. No, yeah, happy heart, knowing that you did not wish to suffer, like you see a poor animal suffering. If you but put yourself in their flesh, you will go there and help. The same thing for any person who asks for help or is suffering. We just put ourselves in their flesh, into their minds, in their soul, to understand what they are going through at that moment. That's how we help others. Unfortunately, I had to deal with android kind of people who doesn't believe in goodness and are all about making money and then be selfish and think that the others does not deserve what they have and that they don't have a duty to help other people as long as they are praying for their fake gods. And they pray, and those people are religious. If we live a service to others philosophy in order to achieve oneness with the finished source, isn't that really service to self? If we live with a service to others philosophy in order to achieve oneness with the finished source, isn't that real service to self? I don't live because I want to achieve nothing. I do this because I feel good. I feel good to see the other people happy. I'm happy when they are happy. I'm unhappy and miserable when they are. And I'm talking about people who really deserve my goodness, my kindness. Not just in one who use my kindness to exploit me and then take advantage of my naivety. No, I'm talking about people who really deserve and really needs my help. You see, I don't do this because I don't want nothing in return. Don't need to do nothing to me. Don't even say thank you. Just take the help in any form. Isn't that really service to self? How is the distinction of negative and positive polarity made? I live in the service to other philosophy, not as Shivanisi. You do not serve others to achieve. Now there is his answer what I felt. You do not serve others to achieve one in see the infinite source. You serve others because you love them, and because you feel their pain, because you are empathic, and not apathic, but empathic, because you love them as yourself. Others are an extension of yourself. That's why the law of attraction works the way it does. Truly, whatever you are doing to me, you are doing to yourself. And so that means in this context, what bad you all come here to do, to instigate people to do bad, then you are doing to yourself. And so please stop that virus by next week, okay? Stop the season, virus season. I want it to stop it by next week, because if you want to last more, at least give some time, but stop it next week. By next week, stop it and let these humans learn through another way. Let them, the evil ones here, bang their head many times, fall many times, and one day they'll strike you right. Hopefully so. And if they don't do here, at least when they die, they'll feel all the pain will return back to them, for all the pain they have inflicted upon others here in the earth and the animals, and the sufferings and those who have been unjustly dealt with. We are all one in the infinite creation. Separation is an illusion because you only see what is noted density. You do not see the whole picture. We achieve only see the infinite source of all As a result of our upward spiral of progression, we are all on the path back to where we came from. We are all on our way back home. Yeah, true. But how long will this back home go to last? How long? That's the question. It's my understanding that all souls must eventually choose the positive path to unite with the infinite creator. If this is true, what's the justification of choosing the negative path now for your people and us? Good question. An astute question. Yes, all souls eventually learn that positive is the pathway which leads home. But we're still incarnating in the third density. Negativity is still an important tool in your learning process. No, in your project, that's your project. That has been your project, your idea, your thoughts. Has nothing to do with the people here, because just by thinking differently and not choose it, we are not agreeing to it. You understand? So we did not create it. It was not our inventions. It was yours, and Nike's. It teaches you what then, as I said earlier. It's up to you how you use the tools we have given you. Do you respond to negativity with more negativity? Has fighting fire with the fire ever worked for you? Or do you choose to see the negativity as the tool that it is, and recognize that it is offering you an opportunity? I will honor your free will to think and discover for yourself what that opportunity is. Hey, tell me. Suppose I'm gonna give an example now. Many children with this kind of mentality that we have to turn the other face. Many have lost their lives. Many families have been destroyed. The woman has been killed by men or whatever. Children has been killed in the hands of some rabid, angry adult, or have been traumatized. If they didn't die in the process, they have been traumatized. We cannot tell others what you don't apply to ourselves. Earlier on, these same beings have told that we don't have to throw another cheek to be beaten, not to be slapped. Because by allowing the abusers to continue abusing, we are helping them not to heal themselves. Is when we say stop and know how to put a stop to it, they will stop being the violent, the stupid being that they are. A tyrant person, a violent, will not stop. At this post will not stop until we stop them. And if possible be, we have to fight fire with fire to stop at this post. But if we can find another way, we will first. We'll have to try many alternatives before we go for the last resort, and then we apply the last resort, which is violence, you see. But we cannot allow the abuser to keep on abuse, because by doing that you are being accomplice. Because we are not here to suffer, we are not here to play the role as a masochist, and we're not here also to allow others to be this way. If you can stop at this post, if you can stop an abuser, do so. That's my frank and sincere and a witty counsel. Do not follow what this being he is trying to tell. This is on excuses. They are full of excuses. Or if the one infinite creator is love, does that mean it doesn't matter if we choose love of others or love of ourselves? Will either path will lead to the source? It will, but the thing is, it will not make an impact on the world. It will not change the world by being so inward, so selfish and self-centered. Think that the world revolves around your backside, and it does not. And that you will break your face. You lose face when you find out that the world does not turn around you. In a sense, you are correct. No, he's not correct. I disagree to a certain point, but there is a big difference between loving yourself and being selfish. We can love ourselves so that we can have more to give others. We cannot give what we don't have. In order to help others, we need to love ourselves and be contented with what we are, not what we have, because you doesn't have to help because you are rich. You may be rich materially wise, but your heart is poor. A poor person have a bread, he split. He eats some, he gives some away. The rich will rather throw away than share. So this rich person has nothing. He has material accumulations, but he doesn't have richness of soul. He's empty. And when you are empty, you have nothing to offer for. Sorry to be you. A big difference, and I'm not saying that and then doing another thing. I'm the kindest person around. If I have a neighbor who needs my help, I'll help if anything I have. Anyway, with money, food, a nice word or anything else. But I also can be evil, also evil person. I'm like that, and I have no. I don't have to just to give to explain that to no one about how I am. So I'm just not talk. I do. I have done all my life. A big difference is when you truly understand what is to know and love yourself. You cannot help but to love and serve others, and you cannot give that which you lack. There are no others. When you understand this, at the core level of your being, you will be on the path home to the infinite creator and ultimately submergence back into the infinite one and see. Amen. Amen. At least that's what I inspire for. I agree with many others that your answers are very much in line with several sources I have read in the past, including the channeling of Ura, the Cassiopeans, and several others. Can you explain your interpretation of such channelings, and if they are another source of disclosure from your people? I have spoken Ura in my previous answers today. I have not heard of Cassiopeans. There are no other communication from my family at this time than this one, though there is a possibility of another soon, depending upon certain events. My general view of channeling is that the majority of them are of very poor quality, and do see humans say what they want to say and not what they've heard or felt. That's not necessarily a slight against those bring them through, but more a matter of their lack of receptivity and subsequent distortions. Yeah, It's very rare to find a good, stable, clear, and impartial channel. Yeah. The key element in channeling is the ability to temporarily withdraw the filters of your own personal beliefs and be a clear channel to bring through what is actually given, not your slant on what you think it might mean. When I say you, I mean this in general term, of course, here, not you personally. Always remember that it's meant to be about the message, not the messenger. The right channeling are very accurate indeed. They are the only ones I know of that I would be happy to classify as a clear message, though as I say, even then is not 100%, more like 85 over 95%. Another difficult issue with channeling is that you can start off receiving a positive entity, and if you are not very perceptive in your discernment and careful in your protection when identify incoming channel, you can get a negative one that pretends to be positive. Yeah, true. But gradually slips in more and more misinformation, having gained your trust. The ones that give you precise dates and times are nearly always ones to avoid. Yeah, because everything is unpredictable, and until you can predict something, you'll never give a conclusive data for any event that's to come. Positive entities will not give a date and time through. Negative ones will do, so they can set you up for a fall. Once you are tricked into predicting dates and times and they don't happen, they've succeeded and put out the light of your message, as no one will see any credibility in you. True. Well, now we know the point of this thread. Someone just discovered New Age theology, and I wanted to take the time to type out his discovery. Still wait for you to provide a prediction of a timeline. So far, all you've offered is general doom, which is what everyone with ETS predicts every year. Need something specific in the next week. Of course, I know you won't provide anything. This is a hoax. No sense are these men. They cannot do because nothing is predictable. Life is about unpredictability, at least here, because people are changing minds all the time. This will be the only time I reply to you. At the outset of our discourse here, I made it expressly clear the way I'm choosing to operate. If you do not like my choices, you have the free will to not read this disclosure. I would kindly suggest that you use it until energy is feeling very frustrated and angry. That's not really an advisable direction to want to be hidden under the circumstances. As I took the time to explain to you before, I have nothing to prove to you. That's not why I came. Believe or not, I'm divinely indifferent. If my presence here ends up benefiting just one soul during the process, it will have been worth the effort. I have not asked you to believe. The only thing I have respectfully asked was that you suspend judgment or hold a provisional faith until the discourse is complete, so that the flow of information remains uninterrupted. You have shown me nothing but discourtesy and bad manners from the outset, and then wonder why I do not respond. If you do not like the topic, simply choose not to read or reply, and let those that do wish to participate with insightful questions to do so uninterrupted. Your points. New Age theology, that's amusing. You clearly have not the faintest comprehension of just how unshiny and timeless these mysteries are. I find it ironically low-level Mason that if you ever make it to the 32 degree, you are going to find yourself hearing these truths all over again. I hope that you will find it easier to integrate these truths then, and I ask our infinite Creator to guide your path. You will not be received any times or dates from me. I'm not here to prove anything, and I have no need to do so. Your disbelief is of no consequence to me, only to you. I'm here to diligently discharge the duty given to me of delivering a message, and I will complete that duty regardless of your feelings about it. As to your point regarding doom and gloom, that just serves to reveal your mindset. Where you see doom and gloom, I see opportunity. Life conforms to your ideas about the way it is for you. If you see doom and gloom, then that's what you are projecting. No, that's what we are seeing. And you see it in a collective way. If you one or two are seeing alone, then we are being imagining things. But then so many people see the same thing, but different people will react different. But the sensitive ones just does not want this to go on. We do not have to learn through hard knocks. That's sadism. The world is your mirror. It reflects back to you what you are putting out. If you do not like the reflection life is showing you, then change that which is causing it. We cannot change what we see, and then we have no power over it other than not accept it and not choose to agree. You see, if this really existed, there would be countless thousands of people involved, and any one person could leak. Thousands, try millions, and you have no possible comprehension of the rigorous training and the harshness of the conditioning we undergo from an early. So what's not our fault? Is there in your culture imbued in it? We have nothing. The problem is that you brought your culture to us. That's the problem. No one's there to go against the family. We know what would happen if we did. Yeah, you are dictators and crew of the highest form of crew species. But that's not the prime motivator. The motivator is unbridled loyalty to the family and our Creator. We understand the importance of what we are doing here. And so your Creator is what? Bad as you are, unjust, unfair, even though most of your humanity does not. Oopsie, you just shot yourself in the foot. For someone who only deals with manipulating the spiritual side of life, you sure do know a lot about things that have nothing to do with it. You just exposed yourself. Good. Do you not sit down with your family and keep one another abreast of your plans? As to your remark, your plans for yourself, not for screw the lives of the others. You sit down the council to screw the lives of planets you invade and rule. As to your remark about my spiritual role, the ignorance you demonstrated is most humorous to eyes. I'm not surprised. If you think I only deal in the spiritual, you have either not read or misread my posts. You also make the assumption that my role is about manipulating the spiritual side of life. But that's what you say. You deal more with the spiritual now. This being is twisting all, is flip-flopping again. It's not being consistent. Again, you lack understanding. And then you make false judgments about that which you have no comprehension of. You comprehended enough to not agree to all this that we see. At least some of us, not those who are under spell though. You would do well to stop trying to be clever. Oh, so you want to do this dumb, is it? Because the dumbest they are, the easier to control. Is it what you try to say. And instead channel all this misplaced aggressive energy of yours in something more productive and nourishing for your soul. But we need to know, it doesn't have to try to be so good and then be positive when you are not. You cannot ask other people to be what you are not being. That's hypocrite. That's the absurdity of all this. But don't let me stop you. You are contributing nicely to the overall negative polarity of the coming harvest. Oh, now we cannot be firm, we cannot be assertive, we cannot be opinionated, because if you do, we're gonna be punished. And earlier on, you can see that he said that is all a game. He said all this not is a game, not to be taken seriously. And now he's hit himself on the foot by saying that we're gonna be punished. And another way, he's threatenized that dares to speak up against their rules here. You see how thing is, how fake they are, how flip flop, how by multiple polar, with multiplicity. But don't let me stop you. You are contributing that. Oh, it's a game, dude. Why you are angry? It's a game. You yourself say that game. Or you try to say that it's a game for us. It's a game for you because you laugh at the misery of others. Is it? Don't let me stop you. You are contributing isolate polar to the coming harvest. You can might as well destroy us. So what? At least some of us, me and this man, we don't care. I will be spend the last few days of my time here. I'll discuss ends on Friday. Focus on responding to insightful questions with depth, which make the most of this opportunity for sharing information and making connections on a soul level of being. So please do not expect any further responses to your verbal joustings. I neither have sufficient time or inclination for engaging in insignificant banter. Oh, you don't have to be assertive. You just have to go along with all they say with their forked tongue. To those whose question I have not yet had time to reply to, I will do so tomorrow. In the meantime, while I catch up, I respectfully ask if you will please hold off on further questions until I am up to date with the current ones. Thank you to those who have contributed to this discourse so far with meaningful questions. For those with an open mind, it's my hope that you get something out of this information. Open mind means not buying everything you all say. You must take it with a pinch of salt. We need to discern. That's the beauty of the message, that we don't have to take it all as a gospel, because if we do, then we are being too naive, you see. And then we don't need to turn it into a religion, because it's enough of a religion. Religions doesn't want you to question. You do the same thing here. It doesn't want us to question, but follow blindly. All you have to do is to try and not change, not follow. To change, we open up our eyes, and to follow, we become blind. And that's it for part 3 of this segment. And soon will be the third session, which will be the video number 4.